Will we get snow in the south on Wednesday? Will this cold snap ever end? And when do you take your Christmas decorations down?
Welcome to our first Square Raindrop podcast of 2025. Happy New Year to you. I'm Jo Wheeler.
And I'm Steff Coulter. I still have Christmas decorations up. You, Jo, do not.
That is true, although I have to say mine were very minimal in here, certainly. I think I had one tiny piece of tinsel and then I just laid some lights on the back of the sofa. So this was not really the room for the Christmas decorations, but they have to be down by 12th night. Why have you still got yours up?
Well, my other half is Catholic. So they have the Three Kings tradition. So traditionally, if you go to Europe, your host will steal your shoes, put them by the back door, and then fill them up with sweets in the morning, which may or may not be stinky. Here, we get the shoes, we put them by the back door, and we put in one random present. But the Three Kings won't come if you don't have any Christmas decorations up. So they got to be up for the night of the 5th. We take them down on the 6th, and then the 7th is the birthday day. So they've got to be down by the 7th. So it's a mad scramble. They are always down on the 6th, Jo.
When you say the birthday day, whose birthday?
Milo and Mia. I am biologically primed only to give birth on one day a year. Mia was a month early, so I can't even say it was planned.
Okay, so birthday straight after Christmas. That's really something else. That does solve an argument though, because I was pondering about 12th night. Most of us in this country can't decide whether it's the 5th or the 6th. If you count the 25th, then it's the 5th. But if you don't count it, it's the 6th.
I guess you don't count it. So as today is the 6th, I better start taking these bad boys down. Did you know though, Jo, in some Orthodox Catholic religions, Christmas is actually the 7th. Funny old world, isn't it? So I invited one of Milo's friends over for a little birthday knees up. Do they have knees up at the age of 9? Anyway, he was going to have a birthday knees up. And they said, no, they couldn't come because the 7th was their Christmas. So I did a bit of Googling. And yes, the 7th is a Christmas day of some religions.
Every day is school day. Certainly now the kids have gone back to school anyway.
Oh, I tell you, couldn't have come soon enough. Normally over these sort of breaks, because they're busy usually, it's when the crazy weather happens, then I can send them off to some kind of sports camp to enjoy themselves while I don't know, wrap their Christmas presents or whatever it might be. But this year, because Christmas was right in the middle of the week, as was New Year, I felt a bit guilty saying, and it's Christmas Eve, off you go to sports camps. I think they were mostly shut anyway. So yeah, they stayed with me the whole time. And we're both, all of us actually are ready for them to go back to school. Even the kids.
I'm sure so. Did you know there's an official name for that period between Christmas and New Year?
Somebody told me the other day, but I can't remember what it is. So please enlighten me.
It is called Twixmas.
Is that something to do with Twixes? Because I do like Twix.
Those aren't the ones that get left in the bottom of the chocolate box.
No, but I found out the other day that Dinky Deckers are really unpopular and they're my favourite. I fight over those. I give like my left kidney for a Dinky Decker and it turns out no point. Nobody else wants them.
That's a real shame. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yes, obviously without my dad, it was sad, but the kids' excitement kind of drove us through. Little Mia came out with a little corker though. So the day before Christmas, conventionally called Christmas Eve, Milo was saying, you've got to be good or you're only going to get charcoal for Christmas. Santa will only bring you charcoal. And Mia said, I think that's just a story that the parents make up because I wasn't good last year and I didn't get charcoal.
Some people are just too clever for their own good, aren't they?
She's 7. She's already wise.
Well,
how about you? Because people have been asking if you managed to source a turkey. Did you have to go and rustle one at the nearby field or did you manage to find one by more conventional routes?
Well, given that my plans changed over Christmas, but eventually the plan was that I went from Lincolnshire across to Cheshire to go and have Christmas dinner with my brothers.
Did you have your turkey under your arm?
Well, at that point, you see, I was still anticipating that telephone call saying, come and pick up your turkey. This could have arrived at any point up to the end of the 23rd. So I said to my brother, I'm not sure about this turkey issue. I said, if I've got one, I said, shall I bring it with me? And he said to me, do you know what he said to me?
No, I don't.
He said to me, you've brought worse plus ones.
Oh, okay. Ouch. Thanks, brother. You can always rely on family members to give you an honest answer.
I know, bless them. Anyway, as it happened, the call never came. So obviously last year I abandoned all turkey hopes for 2024. And I shall think again about 2025. But just for the record, I have not ordered one yet. So when I get to the same state next year going, did I order a turkey? Is there a turkey with my name on it running around somewhere? You can say, no, Joe, you didn't.
Please tell me you can't actually order turkeys this early.
Well, you see, it's Lincolnshire and they're pretty much bred to order.
Oh, okay. So you turn up with your egg. Could you look after
Yes.
this one? Wow, I didn't realize they were so young. Anyway, moving on.
Not quite that DIY yet. But anyway, so off I went to Cheshire and had a lovely late night. Might have given us a little bit of that, but anyway. And the following day, I had to come back, and it was so foggy. And I thought, oh, I was actually going to go back later in the day, but no, I want to drive in daylight. So I actually set off about 1 o'clock, and the area of Cheshire that I'm talking about, Wilmslow, Macclesfield way. So I was in Macclesfield, which is quite high up anyway. And the main way out of there for me coming home would be up to Buxton, which is, I think it's got the highest pub in England or something, the Cat and Fiddle. So I set off with some trepidation, thinking this fog is horrendous. And for a while it was. And then I drove out at the top of it and there were clear blue skies. And it was a stunning trip back through the Derbyshire Dales. Every time I was up on the hills, it was clear as. But down in the valleys, you could see the fog just sitting there.
There you go. That's what you like. I love it when you can. I mean, I've only really done it in Doha where you're above the fog and looking down on it. It is beautiful. So that's all Christmassy. What happens now? I mean, the weather over the past few days has been crazy. We went from very mild, foggy over Christmas to Baltic and snow and warnings coming out of our ears and goodness knows what else. My sister drove home a couple of days ago. She said I was ready for the rain. I was ready for the snow. I was ready for whatever it threw at me. But it was foggy. No one ever mentioned the fog.
Oh, yes, I know. We've had everything, haven't we? It's kept us very busy. We've been on Talk, we've been on LBC, we've been on Times Radio pretty regularly through the day. It seems like done nothing else. And Sky, of course. So very busy on the broadcasting with all these warnings and everything else. Because this one that came in over the weekend was very like Storm Bert. Now, do you remember this? And there was all the hoo-ha over the mornings. So this time, yes, snow on the leading edge. Rain behind, though, could cause some flooding. Oh, and ice as the cold air comes back again. And even as it exited eastwards, it was still causing problems. All the airports were a bit snowed up. All the planes were in the wrong places. People being delayed, cancelled left, right and centre. And my kids were driving out of Cornwall on Sunday. And I'm sitting at home shaking quietly, going, please, please take care. And calling them intermittently, going, you're coming up to a nasty bit of weather.
Yeah, so most of that's now heading away. But is it going to get warm, Joe?
No, sorry, that cold air is coming straight back. And for most of us, it's going to be a northerly flow, a few showers around, mostly in the north and the west, maybe a few other coastal areas. A bit more breeze than we saw last week. So the low temperatures very definitely exacerbated by the strength of the winds.
Okay, there will be a few snow flurries around. Some of them may get inland if you're looking for snow. But I think the interest is going to be on Wednesday, that something might be coming up from the south. And we all know that if something hits the south, then the media will go cuckoo because the south is where most of the media is based. So it looks like there's something coming up. The big question, though, at the moment, though, is how far north will it get and will it actually turn to snow? What do you reckon, Joe?
I think it will, because I'm an optimist like that.
Excellent. Well, I'm not as optimistic. And the last time I spent ages watching this range that was supposed to just skirt along the south coast. I think it was a year ago. We had a very similar setup. And I was so excited watching every run of the model. It was going north, it was going south, it was going, each and every way. And nothing happened. It was the dampest of damp squibs I have ever seen. And I thought, I'm not getting my hopes up again. I'm just not doing it, just to be dashed.
Well, the problem is it is the south and therefore traditionally much milder than the rest of the country. But right at the moment, I'm not convinced. I still think we're going to see some snow on that leading edge.
We'll see. We'll see. I tell you, when we had the crazy weather a few days ago, we had snow here. So I'm in Winchester. We had snow one evening. It was dark. It was snowing about 9 o'clock. Not much, but some. By the next morning, it was 12 degrees.
I know. It was ridiculous. Southern parts of the country saw temperatures in double figures. And certainly for me this morning, the 6th, started off at 5 o'clock this morning with a temperature of 11. By 9 o'clock, I was down to 4, and the wind has gone round from a southerly to a northerly. So standing outside doing the little telly bits, I was freezing to death. It's taken me about 4 hours to warm up.
I bet it has. I hate it when you're chilled to the bone. It just takes that extra bit longer to get warm.
Obviously, we've got all of 2025 and the weather to look at. Did you have a good New Year? Or like most parents, did you end up going to bed at like 10:30 going, oh, just get me a cup of cocoa?
No, we were round at a friend's house, so we can put all the children to bed in like bedrooms upstairs, sardine them in the room, and then the parents can have a good time.
Excellent. So much celebration then at midnight.
Exactly. Except no, because the person that put the telly on, the person who owns the house, so she can't even say she didn't know, must have hit the button. When you start live TV, it says, do you want to start at the beginning of the program or live? I think he must have hit start at the beginning of the program, because we suddenly went at about 12:20. We missed midnight. What's going on?
Okay, 2025 got off to a great start for you. I must admit, mine wasn't great either. I was with my daughter in York, and the plan was to go another hour further on to a party in North Yorkshire with a friend. But then the weather beckoned, and I decided I better come home. And on the motorway, I had a massive blowout, 4-inch hole in my tyre.
Oh no! So did you have to change the tyre?
Well, oddly enough, I didn't, which was a bit disconcerting because I'm used to that. I can get a tyre changed in about 10 minutes flat, but my car's got run flat tyres. So I was being asked to believe that this car with this huge, gaping hole in it was going to get me home. It did.
Wow. Well done. I tried to change a tyre once. I jumped up and down on that little wrenchy thing, and nothing happened. There was no... Can you come and help me? I was useless. I was thinking, it's not moving at all.
Well, for anybody who ever does have to change a tyre, the answer is to use your tyre wrench whilst the car's still flat on the ground, because then you're using the weight of the car and the friction of the ground to jump on the tyre wrench, which will actually take the little nuts off. Then, when they're loosened, then you jack the car up.
Eat some more pies would also be my...
Well, yeah, I mean, you turn sideways, Mark, you're absent. Well, I wonder what mix of weather we'll have to chat about next time. But we will be back with the next square raindrop. Any questions you've got, anything you'd like us to chat about, turkeys or otherwise, do just get a hold of us.
And we need to do some more personalised forecasts. We haven't done any of those for a while. So if you have something exciting coming up, let us know.